All right. Good afternoon and welcome everybody. This is Dr. Johnson, and I'm happy to welcome you to our live broadcast today. I just want to share a quick announcement, and also I want to also discuss 1 year of working from home due to the pandemic, and what are some of the key lessons that we have learned, and maybe some of the trends that we also have noticed in the last 1 year. So, like I said, my name is Dr. Johnson, and I'm founder and CEO of Glomacs IT Solution and Services Canada. So, 1 year of working from home, what are the key lessons and trends that we have observed? First, a couple of announcements before I go into the discussion for today. The first thing is that we have an upcoming class on cybersecurity that is scheduled originally to start on April 3rd, but because we've found out that April 3rd is actually a long weekend for Easter, so we are moving the class to April 17th. So now our cybersecurity class will start on April 17, 2021. So that means you still have the opportunity to register if you want to join, and you can also tell your friends and loved ones. This is a hands-on project that will be taught by somebody who has a lot of experience in the field, somebody who have close to 20 years of experience in the field, and is going to be practical, preparing people for the industry. So the starting date for the class is April 17, 2017, and the classes are on Saturdays. Then registration, you can register to get early bird discount up until April 6, Tuesday, April 6. Then April 13, Tuesday, April 13 will be the final registration day. That's about 4 days before the class, about 4 days before the class. That's the final registration day. So please make sure that you register on time, and you can also invite your family and friends that need to get into this field, that are interested in a career in this field, to join the class so that they can have the right experience and leadership to get into the field. Now, the other announcement that I want to make before I go into today's discussion is that next week Saturday, not this coming one, next week Saturday, March 27, 2021, we have our monthly Glomacs webinar, and this month's webinar is on AI, robots, and automation. We are talking about robots. So robots are coming to town. That's the language that people say. So what does robots do? And what do they mean? How are they being used currently in the environment? Are there robots around us already that are already that were already being used? So the person we are bringing is somebody who is focused on robotics. His PhD work, his research work is on robotics, and is going to dissect it and break it down for us. So please come and learn and understand some of these emerging technology and trends, so that you are not left behind in the emerging technologies that are actually shaping the way things are done right now. So the topic for today's discussion is 1 year of working from home. What are the key lessons learned in 1 year, and top trends to watch? Now, so it's globally recognized that it's 1 year already that the COVID crisis has occurred, and everybody has to pivot to working from home since then. I remember then, before the work from home process started, there are so many teams within the organization that I work for, and there are so many managers, there are so many leaders that doesn't believe in working from home. In fact, I was talking to somebody that said, "Oh, I like my workforce to be in the office 5 days of the week, because I feel that the work is going to get done better when they are in a physical environment." But because of COVID, there were lockdown, and everybody has to pivot to working from home. So it's not something that the businesses plan for. It's not something that anybody planned for. Even religious organizations, churches, they have to pivot to doing online services. So what are the top things that we can learn from this past 1 year, and what are the key trends that we can see? So one thing that you would know is that there are some emerging trends due to fourth industrial revolution. Okay, the fourth industrial revolution, the digitization has been happening before COVID, but what COVID did was to accelerate some of these trends. It accelerates some of the digital trends that we have been seeing before the COVID happened. So what are the things that I feel that are the lessons or takeaway that we can take? Number one is that some jobs that are in area that require physical proximity are likely to have some transformation. They've been transformed a little bit during COVID, they've been affected during COVID, but they will experience greater transformation during COVID. Take, for example, people who are working in medical care, people who are working in personal care like elderly care homes, people who are doing on-site consumer services, attend to customer maybe in a restaurant, in a retail, in a post office, in a banking environment, or people who are working in lecture industry, people who are working in travel and hospitality industry, and people who are also working in restaurant. So these are on-site kind of job. These are jobs that require physical proximity with the customer. But what we discover is that because of COVID, many of them were not open. And not only that, during COVID, there are a lot of transformations that happen. For example, many doctors have to do online, remote with their customers. Many doctors have to talk to their customers over the phone. Many doctors have to schedule online consultation with their customers. So what would then happen is that many of the jobs that require physical gathering, there will be maybe some transformations that will have to happen to a number of their processes that they have not thought about before. So, but still, I believe that it will be a blend of both the physical and the online. But many of the jobs that require physical gathering, they are likely to experience more transformation. And especially the things that we could digitize are likely to be digitized after the COVID is over. So that's one of the experience and trends that I see. For example, during the COVID, what some doctors in Canada, if you have maybe appointment with doctor and it's something that they can actually do analysis on remotely, they will just ask you to send images and pictures, and then they have software that can do that analysis and they give you the result. For example, maybe you need skin help. Maybe you have a skin disease. They can ask you to take a picture of that area where you have that problem, and then they will do image analysis, and based on that analysis they will give you the direction on what you need to do next. So these are transformations that we will start to see, especially in businesses and work that require close proximity. So there will be some transformation in those industries, and we already see that even things like restaurant, so they are now thinking of delivery. Travel industries, many of the companies that are in the travel industry, they lose a lot of jobs and workers. So there will be a lot of transformation in arena or jobs that require close proximity. Now, the second thing that we will have seen and that we might see as a trend that will continue is that remote working and virtual meeting will likely continue. Remote working and and virtual meetings are likely to continue. During the pandemic, one of the organizations that make more money is Zoom. Okay, before COVID happened, Zoom has existed, but not many people know about them. But during the pandemic, their share just blew up, almost grew 3 times within the first 2 months. So what what you would then start to see is that as organizations come out of COVID, they will still likely have a blend of both in-person and remote. So remote working is still likely to continue, because then organization will have to look at the performance of their workers during the time they are working from home and see whether that actually affects their work level or not. So with that, they will then have to have a blend of both in-person and remote. And the reason is because there are some part of the work that people do that will still require them to come physically to the office, but there are some other ones that they could get done remotely. There are some meetings that can take place remotely, but there are some business meetings that will be better off in person. So the discussion right now is that there will be a blend of both remote and in person. So, but I believe that remote working and virtual meetings are likely to continue even when COVID is over. Even when COVID is over. So it might be that in big cities, you are likely to have people coming into office maybe 1, 2, or 3 times in a week, and then they work from home for the remaining time. So organization might then also use the same opportunity to reduce their cost for renting the buildings where their workers and the workforce are coming in, so that if they reduce the number of people that come per day, then it will help them to cut their cost in terms of the money they are paying for renter of the office environment. So we will see that there will be remote working and virtual meeting. They are likely to continue post-COVID. Now, the third thing that I think would be the learning that we gain from COVID, and that is likely to also continue, is that many businesses are going to go online. Many businesses are going to go online, and virtual transactions are going to continue. Many businesses are going to go online. So during the pandemic, one of the industry that flourished the most are online businesses like e-commerce. Okay, Amazon's shares rose higher, and a lot of other companies that have online platform, they grow almost 2 to 5 times, and then they make more money. And we are going to likely see that trend, because a lot of companies that didn't think about going online or having online platform, they are already thinking about that. I mean, I was talking with somebody that said a lot of companies that have inline store, in physical stores, like Best Buy in Canada, where you can go and buy a computer. They are already thinking of moving it online, so that you can just order your resource online like Amazon. So there will be a growth in that area, online business and e-commerce and virtual transactions, like even banks. Nearly everything you do with banks now, you cannot go physically to the bank. You do your check and all the transactions. They are all going on online. So telemedicine, things like telemedicine will also take place as we go through the future of post-COVID. So after COVID, some of these online trends, they are likely to continue. So, and that's one of the takeaway that we can see from COVID. The fourth thing that I think is also lessons that we have learned, and that is likely to continue after COVID, is that there will be faster adoption of AI and automation. There will be faster adoption of AI and automation, especially in those areas that have high proximity. So there will be a lot of automation of most of the customer-facing services, like if you are working in grocery stores, call centers, and also in some manufacturing industries. Many of those things will be automated, either using robot or some other human-computer interaction. So what you would then see, and a lot of companies are already doing that. I will showcase some of them, like McDonald's right now. If you want to make order, you don't need to go into the store. You can actually speak to one of their digital assistants, and then it will make the order and you just pick it up. So there are a lot of transformations that are going on with automation and AI. So there will be acceleration of adoption of AI and automated tools because of COVID. So this is one trend that we are seeing. This is one lessons that 1 year of COVID has been telling us. Many organizations are actually doing a lot of automation work because of the remote nature of the work that people are doing now. They are adopting automation, one, to reduce costs, also to accelerate the process of the work that they are doing. So automation process, adoption of artificial intelligence is going to be accelerated, and that's one of the key takeaway from COVID. So the fifth takeaway for me is that demand for IT skills and STEM related discipline as such, and is going to continue. Demand for IT skills and STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and maths related occupations, are such during COVID, and they are likely to continue because as people go digital, as they go online, then they will need human resources, they will need technical skills, they will need people who have experience, especially in building systems, in developing many of these solutions. So highly skilled people are going to get more opportunities. They will get a lot of job requests, job opportunity to work in company. And so this is one of the best time to add IT skills to your portfolio. And it doesn't matter which background, which degree you have, you can actually do classes, you can do trainings to ensure that you get yourself ready for IT-related experience in your area, because you will need a combination of your domain knowledge and IT skill on top to be able to actually do a lot of things in the current dispensation that we are in. So COVID has just bring to the forefront the need for IT skill. And currently now there are a lot of job requests for software developers. There are a lot of job requests for data engineers. There are a lot of job requests for data scientists. There are a lot of job requests for cybersecurity. There are a lot of job requests for experience and skills that relate to the fourth industrial revolution. And that's why, as an organization, one of our goal, one of our passion is to build that gap between your current experience and the experience that you need to be able to work and function in many of these new roles and in many of these emerging roles. All right, I hope you have gained one or two things from my discussion of today, which is 1 year of working from home. What are the lessons that we have learned in terms of technology, and what are the trends that we need to watch for going forward post-COVID? So let me recap once again. Number one, jobs in area with higher level of physical proximity are likely to see some greater transformation. So if the job require one-on-one connection post-COVID, there will still be that fear, there will still be that distancing, social distancing with people. So those jobs, they are going to experience a lot of transformation. Things like restaurant, people are going to have to live with the fact that they probably will have to make order of their food and then take it home and eat it, rather than sitting down in the arena or the restaurant area where there is a crowd. So there will be a lot of transformation in those areas. Then the second thing that I mentioned is that remote working and virtual meetings will likely continue. Okay, so organizations are going to have a blend of both physical, coming physically to the office, and also working remotely. So most organizations that didn't think about giving their workers the ability to work remotely, they will have to adopt it, because it will be a common thing. So they will decide whether they want them to come to office 2 days, 1 day, or 3 days of the week, or 4 days of the week. But definitely it will be a blend of both in-person and remote working, because there are some things they can get done more effectively by in-person, but there are other things that can actually be done remotely. And virtual meetings is going to continue as well. So what that also means is that business travel will be reduced. A lot of people travel all around the world throughout the year, but that might not be necessary because you can just do some of those meetings remotely without necessarily traveling physically. So that's the second trend. The third trend that I mentioned is that online business businesses such as e-commerce and virtual transactions are booming, and they are likely to continue in that trend. So during the COVID era, what we see is that a company like Amazon, they have an upsurge. In fact, their shares even double. Their CEO become the world richest person during the same time because his share expanded. So during COVID, we see that e-commerce, online stores, online transactions by banks and things like that, they actually boom, and that trend is likely to continue. It's not likely to restrict back, it's likely to continue. So every business right now, they are looking for how to ensure that they have an online platform for conducting their business. Number 4 thing that I share is that there will be faster adoption of AI and automation. So many organizations, especially even the ones that I work with, they are already implementing a lot of automation tools. So automation and AI adoption is going to be accelerated. It's going to be fastly adopted because then we will have AI to be able to support all our human work that we do. And number 5 thing that I share, which is the 5th lessons and trends that we should watch, is that demand for IT related skills and STEM occupation are surge and is likely to continue. So during this pandemic, even though some jobs vanished, even though some jobs some jobs were lost, but one area that we see a lot of gain, one area that we see a lot of need is in IT skills. In fact, there is a lot of demand for software development position. There is a lot of demand for data engineers. There is a lot of demand for AI engineer and so on. So we will see this trend continue because every organization now need those skills. So cybersecurity and so on, they need those skills to be able to implement their systems and also to remain competitive in the market. So they are going to continue to hire for those roles. And so that's why it's a good time for you to add IT skills to whatever experience you have. It's a good time to learn some new tools. It's a good time to repackage your own experience as a person and ensure that you are industry ready for the job of the 21st century. So make sure that you follow us. We will give you more details about some of the trainings that we are doing that will help you to prepare for the job of the modern time. So thank you so much. So like I said in the beginning, our cybersecurity class will be starting on April 17th, Saturday, April 17th, no longer April 3rd because of Easter weekend. And also early bird registration continue till April 6th, Tuesday, April 6th. And then final registration deadline is April 13, 2021. So please register and invite your friend and loved one that want to come into cybersecurity to also register. They will get practical hands-on industry experience that will help them to get ready for the job of the 21st century. Thank you so much, and I wish you a very great day. Bye.